accident in 2013, that was. And that's a long recovery as well. So, you know, for Mark, he's concentrating on being fit next year. He said he's trusting the other Ducati riders and Ducati to choose the right spec for next year, so he won't get to test either. And yeah, just taking time to get that injury all together.
Yeah, obviously for Mark, he can ride anything, so it's not too big a concern to not put his fingerprint on the GP26 Ducati. But yeah, the 24, there's parts of it that we're sure will return for Pecco Bagnaia. He's going to steer the ship a little bit, you would say, as we head into the test here on Tuesday with the first look at what they will put together, bits of the GP25 and 24 for a hybrid 26 machine. Whilst all the focus back in Bologna will be on the 850 engine and the reduced aero, and Michele Pirro will be able to test a little bit. They have such reduced testing now for Pirro because of their dominance, and no concessions available for Ducati at the moment.
So which Pecco are we getting this weekend, Sylvain?
Hey, that's a good question, and a question that I don't have the answer. I think nobody's got the answer. Maybe not himself. You know, we've had such an up and down season for Pecco. It's I mean, we've never really seen anything like it. You know, and clearly, you know, under pressure in the same pit box as Marquez at the start of the season, but you know, he sort of like kept it all together. He was dominated by Mark in the box, but he wasn't far behind, and then he sort of like derailed. But we've had the great comeback in Motegi, which is going to remain a mystery.
To come back in that dominant style for one race weekend is quite extraordinary, Michael.
Yeah, I've never seen a season like it for a rider of Pecco's caliber. The fact that he's a double world champion for a reason. He had some pace in the early rounds, but not quite the Pecco we expected. And then to really have the wheels fall off the wagon, then turn up at Motegi and dominate, absolutely obliterate everyone, and then go off the rails again for a few rounds. But this is a good start to his weekend here. He's going to lead the way comfortably at this stage in the session, which you asked the question, which Pecco's going to turn up this weekend? And so far so good for Pecco Bagnaia around the Riccardo Tormo circuit.
I mean, you might say, oh, it's only Friday first session, but we don't normally see this on a Friday first session, even when Pecco is at his very, very best. So this is an interesting start.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, you know, we're still a long way from the fact. Are we still a long way, actually? No,
31.6 at this point isn't bad at all, really.
On a track that's not looking too good as well.
No, the track don't look good from the early sessions, Michael, doesn't it? You commentated on the Moto2 session. We've seen a lot of crashes and a lot of weird ones in that turn 6, and a lot of dust as well kicked up when they are slightly offline. So yeah, the track doesn't look in prime condition at all.
No, and we're looking at what, low 30s for race lap time. So yeah, 1.5 seconds below Alex Marquez, just about to take a chunk off this on this lap around. But around here, the margins are very tight when you're in the 30s. You're moving around here in race trim.
Alex Marquez, arguably the surprise package of the year.
Oh, I mean, we were sort of like waiting for him somehow to maybe get weaker, and he didn't. He just kept at it from the start of the season. Well, from the very moment he stepped on that 2024 Ducati, you know, in Barcelona last year, in Catalonia after the last race, he was fastest then at that test. He then was fastest in Sepang, fastest in the Buriram test as well, and yeah, he's been so strong, able to carry that corner speed. You know, his riding style, Alex Marquez, carry that corner speed in the right turns, especially. He's so good at doing that. And,
yeah, he's got that sort of 250 style, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we saw a dip in the middle of the year.
We did, around about Germany. There was a little dip, but it was the only one.
And he had an injury.
He did have an injury, although he did say at some point, I seem to remember him saying, the dip hasn't been because of my injury. So, yeah, I'm not sure, but the consistency has been key, hasn't it? And obviously feeling very comfortable with Rossini.
And I think we underestimated his potential coming into the season. He answered any critique that may have been levelled his way about only getting certain rides because of his brother's name. 1 and 2 in the world, Alex and Marc Marquez. They have been so good as a dominant duo, and I think Alex, he will be even stronger next year. Getting factory support from Ducati inside Gresini, he will have the latest and greatest, the GP26, which takes the best from his current bike and the best from what Mark has on the GP25. And I think we'll see Alex stepping up another level next year. He always been one of those slow builders, and beginning to put all the pieces together now.
This is almost a rare sight, really, this season, isn't it? Seeing Jorge Martin on track. It'll be interesting to see if he can stay fit, what he will be able to do on this much improved machine.
I know, if you look back at the year, though, you know, it's been such a story of you know, trying to come back and maybe overdoing it and then making another mistake, having a bit of bad luck as well. It's just been a nightmare season for Jorge Martin, and yeah, coming back now. He's had that surgery on his right collarbone, which was a really bad break actually. So he's got that plate in there, loads of screws, and another long recovery. So for Jorge Martin, I think it's really about to just finish the season off, concentrate on the test, you know, next week. Really important for him, and trying to regroup for next year. It just didn't happen this year, and he's made so many mistakes very early on. Oh, and there we go. Is that turn 6 again?
Binder,
No.
No, I don't think it is turn 6. It looks more around the double left-hander, that turn 8, turn 9 section. Yeah, it is turn 8 on the entrance. Yeah, and a fairly innocuous front end crash, but that puts him one bike down now at this stage. The marshals will recover it back around. He'll probably get a lift on one of the scooters, jump on his second bike and get back on track.
Just back to Jorge Martin, in terms of what he's been through this year, not just physically, but the psychological side of having to rehabilitate, to repair, to come back, to crash again, to have your confidence knocked. It's got to do that. What kind of a situation does he find himself in now, coming into the team where he should have been leading it, but now Bez is very much the clear king of that garage?
It's a tough situation because he clearly, even if Aprilia didn't say it, they said, you know, treating both riders the same. They came in that, obviously in the year with the number 1 plate as a world champion, so he was the number 1 rider, and he went wrong so early. You know, he did just a little over 10 laps in Sepang. Had a couple of crashes in those 10 laps. He crashed straight away in turn 1, I think it was the first one, and then that second crash after 10 laps, having some heavy injuries to his hand and ankle. Then he missed all the testing, all the winter testing, so no mileage at all on the Aprilia basically, and then re-injured himself, did the other hand and the other ankle in a training crash with a supermoto. So that was terrible. Came back in Qatar, had that crash, got unlucky with Gigi Antonio running him over, and that was some heavy injuries to the ribs and lungs. He had to stay in Qatar. He had a collapsed lung, and I mean that was really bad. And he was never able to build, and Bezzecchi started with Aprilia, you know, and step by step build that package, turn it into a winning package. So he was let's say a little bit more conservative to start with, but was able to really build his speed, his confidence with his team, and he's been a bit of a surprise, Bezzecchi. I don't think we expected him that strong this year.
Yeah, it's just been relentless, hasn't it, for Jorge Martin? Let's hope that he can build and be well and stay well throughout the winter and crack on with that Aprilia next year. It'd be great to see both of them pushing that manufacturer forward. Pedro Acosta there we're looking at. He's been riding the wheels off that machine every weekend for 21 weekends, another one incoming, Michael.
Yeah, and I've got a good feeling about Pedro Acosta around Valencia, just with the dirty nature of the track, the fact that it is a little bit stop and go around here. It doesn't flow too much. He can make the difference in stopping and braking and making the bike turn on the side of the tyre. We want Pedro to get his first MotoGP victory. It would be nice to sign off here in Valencia and get one on the board, but it's obviously been a tricky season all round for KTM, but obviously Pedro's able to extract a little more than the other KTM runners at this point in the season, so yeah, I'd love to see him get a victory.
Yeah, more news away from the track for KTM. Rumoured that CF Moto, the Chinese manufacturer, are eyeing up a takeover. They currently have a 2% stake in the Piera Mobility Group. Also, that's coupled with a return to China, to go and race in China. I suppose they're upping their game, CF Moto, in the MotoGP paddock. Of course, MotoGP last raced in China in 2008. But it was, I don't know if you remember this, but it was surrounded by scandal.
I was there. I was racing.
Oh yeah, of course you were.
Yes.
The deal, which was meant to see MotoGP stay there till 2011, obviously was cut short, and it was cited on poor attendance and limited local interest, largely due to the lack of proper promotion. They did prove to be major hurdles, but that was also complicated by the fact that Yu Shifai, the promoter there,
did he go to jail or something?
he was the former director, actually, of the circuit. He did. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison for embezzling, not embellishing, both of them, embezzling about £100,000, 100,000 euros. Yeah, a bit of a sorry story, that one. But we're rumoured to be maybe looking at going back. Apparently, Dorna have been over.
I got to think, it's obviously a huge market, China, and CF Moto, to get them involved, that would be brilliant as well. There's loads of rumours at the moment going around that obviously Dorna's been to China to see the track, but also to see CF Moto. There's a delegation going. Was it straight after Australia or straight after?
Definitely while we're in the flyaway.
Yeah, during the flyways. And then there's other rumours that there's a CF Moto delegation that actually went to Austria to look at the racing department of KTM. These two companies are in business already. I think KTM is do they sell the CF Moto bikes or distribute the bikes in UK, France, and some other few countries in Europe?
Yeah, they manufacture various machines in the KTM.
Oh, they do that as well.
CF Moto do. So yeah, there's a strong collaboration between the two factories. CF Moto, they've obviously doing quite well financially, but also you can see the push, that new superbike that they launched at EICMA recently. That's a serious bit of engineering. They're a common force in the motorsport world.
Yep, so we'll keep our eyes on that one. It looks like a different model would be sought after there, but let's see what happens and see whether MotoGP ends up going back to China.
And this is a good start for Augusto Fernandez with a V4. 31.6, he's sitting 7/10 of the best time in 14th. That's good.
That's good, because you were concerned that it had stalled a little bit.
Well, we all want to see, obviously we all want to see progression, and we thought, from the first wildcard in Misano to where we thought, the performance was okay for a first outing on the bike. We thought actually it was better than expected. Well, that's what I thought anyway. And then out in Sepang again, where actually we didn't really see any big progression there. So yeah, that's a promising few first laps. Obviously, it's only the start here of the weekend, but yeah, it looks good.
B-trap still down though for Augusto Fernandez, 324 versus 338 for the Honda. So work to do on the engine, but we did anticipate that a brand new model, they're going to have it turned down a little, not taking too much risk there. But if the package is beginning to come together, and then you throw another 15-20 brake horsepower at the package, all of a sudden it could be a serious contender. We really want it. We want to see Yamaha back with a machine under Fabio Quartararo that allows him to fight at the front.
Yeah, we really do, and we've seen the steps that Honda have been able to make, but I mean, Yamaha almost have got so much more work to do with this new project, in the fact that they're kind of developing this V4. I mean, you can't really imagine just how much work has gone into this project.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge, because it's not just swapping the engine and developing a new engine. It's developing a bike around it, because the engine is different in its measurements, proportions. The V4 is narrower. It's longer as well, so it sits differently in the frame. So you have to design a different frame, it's a different weight distribution for the bike as well. There's so much going on, with swapping the engine. So yeah, Yamaha still developing both sides as well, while also obviously developing the 850 for 2027, so it's a huge task for Yamaha.
And all this under pressure to try and keep their star player in the terms of Fabio Quartararo keeps pushing them, and you know he's got to do what's best for him. It's a fascinating story that we're watching unfold, isn't it?
Yeah, because you'd think that the riders' market is gonna sort of kick off early next year.
Yeah.
And obviously those, I mean, you got three super talents there, as in Marc Marquez, Fabio Quartararo, Pedro Acosta. These guys are going to be, you know, key to the market, and the dominoes are going to fall after them. So Fabio Quartararo is obviously one of the super talents. Everybody recognizes his talent in the paddock, and all the manufacturers are you know, going to fight for them. This, you know, we've seen the Aprilia right now. You know, Aprilia have showed progression. Is that an attractive package on the sporting side for somebody like Quartararo? Well, yeah, possibly. You know. So yeah, Yamaha's going to have to. They got to fight on their hands to keep their super talent, and Fabio's stuck with them. The last, well, for the re-signing for 2 years, 25 and 26. Is he going to do that for the future?
Yeah, I obviously everyone's talking about Fabio switching allegiances, but I could also see him re-sign again. I could see that Yamaha give him enough of this V4 project, enough of the new 850 engine for him to remain with the factory. He has believed in them a long time, and they have really put a good package together to keep him. He's arguably one of the best paid on the grid right now.
Yeah, rumored 12 million.
He's the best.
He's the best.
Yeah.
With the situation with Mark, obviously, and the route that Mark took, now Fabio's,
and
I believe, is the best paid.
2027, with the new regulations that are very different, without the radar devices, with the smaller engines, with the Pirelli tires coming in, it's actually quite hard to sort of predict for the riders which manufacturer is going to be on top, which manufacturer is going to start on the right foot with these new regulations. It's really hard to try and predict. So why would you step away if you're going to get paid, you know?
It's like watching a whole series, isn't it? And then get 3/4 of the way and you think, oh, I don't know if I'm really enjoying this, but I'm so far through now, I just want to see what happens.
See it through to the end, yeah. Although you look at what Honda have done of late, I'm just looking at the leaderboard now. Mir third, Marini fourth, on a bike that is first in the speed traps with Luca Marini. It's really strong in the braking zones, and it done none of that a year ago. So Yamaha could do similar. They were
nowhere, were they?
Yeah.
I mean, last year they were always last, and all the riders were last. They had no feel at all on that front end. They kept crashing
and
crashing.
Unrideable, wasn't it, that bike?
It looked terrible, and they've turned things around so well. They've made use of those concessions, loads of testing. They poach engineers. They keep poaching, actually. They've not long ago poached the KTM.
Linktree.
The engine designer. So yeah, that's a great turnaround for Honda, and we want to see all those manufacturers fighting at the top.
Yeah, they've had a different way of thinking. They changed their way of thinking, Honda, which has been slow to happen, but they've definitely done it now.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight. Putting Romano Albiciano in there as the head is a massive shift for Honda to not have a Japanese lead the way.
Is that a new graph?
Yeah, new graphic here in the bottom, all right, so showing the surface temperature, all green at the moment in the...
Look at this, this is Sylvan's new obsession.
Oh, I like that.
I thought you would do.
I like that. I want to see it in that last long left turn on the left side. I think it's going to get bright red there.
Get a bit of red there through the long hanging left.
It shows you how cold the tyre is on the right side, and that's why they're having to use the asymmetrical tyres here, even in the front. Oh, we're coming up to it now. Just look at the left side now. That's going to go bright red. Just on the shoulder, yeah. About 160 degrees. That's very hot. Yeah. The right side is staying green though, and it's a Valencia left-hander track, and we talk about it. Turn 4, turn 5, and then the hairpin as well, which which is, what turn is the air in?
Turn 11.
Turn 11, yeah, where you've got to be always give it some respect on the right turns, even with the asymmetrical tires, front and rear. He has actually the whole allocation. The three front tires are asymmetrical as well.
You see from those shots as well, the weather, sort of some low weather hanging, but it doesn't look too threatening. It looks like we'll be pretty dry today. Fingers crossed it should be okay. I hope so, because we've got to make another programme for the winter about Mark Marquez. So it'd be nice if the weather held out. We made a programme last night, a review show for the winter, so the winter's not too long without any bikes. So hopefully you'll enjoy that one. I will admit that we did, towards the end of the filming, have a gin and tonic, and we are in Spain, and there may have been a slight amount of slurring after just one drink for me.
There was some swearing as well, if I remember well.
Some swearing.
A little bit.
Not from me.
Yeah.
Maybe from you guys. Yeah, we did loosen up a little bit in that show. So it's one to enjoy.
Hey, it was great fun though, that was.
It was.
Brilliant.
It's always really fun, isn't it, to look back at the season and relive moments that you sort of forget about because you're in the moment. You've got another race to come to this weekend. You clear the path. You talk about everything that's happening now, but to be able to look back at various different situations and moments, things that we'd forgotten about, and to be able to have time to talk about them was such a luxury, wasn't it?
Hey, it was lovely.
I thought Neil was rubbish, did you?
It got better after the gin and tonic. We all did that.
You know what it's like. You've been to Spain, haven't you? The gin and tonic. They pour you a gin and there's hardly any room for the tonic. That's the trouble. And they put it in a massive goldfish bowl for you. 3 sips in, I was struggling. Not a big drinker, but anyway. Neil's just walked into the commentary box. Well, it's sort of... He looks a little bit puffy in the face this morning, I think.
Yeah, Neil is going for his lap.
You need a bit of lymph drainage before you go out. Are you doing your lap? Yeah, good luck. Watch turn 6.
Oh yeah, still got the used sliders that I've run in for you. Yeah, where was that? Misano.
You know, if you're going to talk, could you grab a microphone, please? We're getting half a conversation here. Paolo Bonora from Aprilia. What a revelation this man is. He's such a great conduit for the team because he has knowledge of everything, Michael.
Yeah, brilliant team manager. A good appointment there. He's such a good engineer himself in terms of the electronics side of things. He just gets it, chassis, understands it all. But also, what has been a bit of a revelation for me is his man management, his skills in there, motivating, controlling the team. I think, his appointment as team manager has been well thought out by Massimo Rivola as he moved to more of a team principal role. And he gives us a lot when we speak to Paolo because he's an engineer and he talks, obviously, worked closely with you, Silvani, was your electronics engineer.
He was the electronics engineer, the boss of the electronics when I was at Aprilia for 2013 and 14. And so we won the World Superbike title together. Paolo's he's a great guy. You can see how passionate he is every time we speak to him. He loves it. He's just, you can tell, he absolutely enjoys it. Loves racing, loves the technical side, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, it really is. Always great to talk to him. Or Massimo, they're both really fascinating, very open with us this year. We've been out, you're always told, don't ask about this, don't ask about that, which of course we always kick under the mat. But, with Massimo, sometimes in the situation where it is quite critical mid-season, I did say I've been asked to not ask you about it. He said you can ask me what you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
he didn't mind, did he, about the Jorge Martin situation when it all kicked off.
Yep.
And he didn't mind at all, and he was very straightforward. I really liked the way they managed this. Actually, they were very firm, very straightforward with what they were saying.
It was interesting because they pushed back, but they were very loving. It was like a really weird combination, but it's worked. That's ultimately all that matters.
It just felt right the way they Massimo Rivola managed this. It just felt like it was the correct thing to do, and it was applied in a like you said, Susie, both in a very firm but gentle way as well. I don't know how to describe it.
Firm legally, but then, you know, when Jorge was there, they were
Warm.
very, very warm.
Very warm.
That's what I meant by loving. It really was actually quite loving, because they were being very emotional about small wins. I think that was probably what was going on there, to you know, to create that support network for Jorge, to want to come back, to want to be part of that team.
How difficult a scenario is it to manage when your key player, the person you've invested in, didn't seem to want to be there, and they had to show him that little bit of love. They had to be firm on the legal side. You've committed to a project, you got to see it through, but also we want you. We understand where the opening was, or the open for interpretation, the clause in the contract that Jorge and his management team thought that they could exercise and perhaps look at the Honda route. We know obviously the Honda's been a common force, but in the end I think it's the right thing. I think legally it's correct that Jorge fulfills his contract. The way the bikes progress throughout the year, I think it's going to be a good package for him next year. A fully fit Jorge Martin alongside Marco Bezzecchi. What a squad that will be for factory period next season.
And it was at a stage where we were talking about how competitive or not competitive the package was. It was before Silverstone.
Yeah.
And then we came to Silverstone, and obviously Bezzecchi won the race there.
Just
look at this.
look at this. Is good, look.
Yeah, really
This
good.
is very good.
He's lost a chunk there in the final sector, but to get to sector 4, only just over a tenth of drift. That's very promising indeed.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with the way that that's progressing. Just to mention, by the way, of Miguel Oliveira, obviously this is his final race weekend in MotoGP, definitely for now anyway. I can say forever. You never quite know what's going to happen when Augusto Fernandez is back in, you know, testing and riding, so you never know. But we're sad to see Miguel go, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, sad to see him go. Obviously, normally when you move from this MotoGP paddock to the World Superbike paddock, there is no coming back. It doesn't really happen. It's still at the back of your mind, and as a rider, but yeah, it's really hard to then come back. But for Miguel, it's going to be you know, another great challenge and a great adventure in World Superbike. He's going you know, in the BMW team, two-time world champion with Toprak this year and last year, and I think he's going to find a great home there. And
He'll do well, won't he, Martin?
Well, he's a fantastic rider as well. Miguel he's just. We felt. I think we all feel, and I feel a little bit sorry for him, because I think he could have done a lot more if he didn't have that bad luck, you know, with the injuries, which most of them were not his fault. He got T-boned, you know, a few times. Portimao about Marc Marquez in Jerez by Fabio Quartararo. There was another one as well. I don't know what it was, and every time getting injured. Well, Aldeguer this year in Argentina.
Yeah, got a handful of race wins, got a brilliant win with Tech 3 in Portugal in
Yeah, that was good.
2020. That was phenomenal. It was so emotional as well for Hervé and the gang, and a goodbye to Hervé Poncherel this weekend as well, having sold Tech 3 team. Him and his daughter Mathilde, they're leaving. Perhaps he's going to come up with a new project, I don't know. We'll see, but what we do know is that he is such a huge character. He's been such an incredible ambassador for MotoGP over the last 40 years, over the last 4 decades. Really phenomenal person to know. Obviously, you've ridden for him.
Yeah. Well, he basically gave me a chance to come to MotoGP. 2007, back in 2007 it was. Also before that, he gave me the chance to test it was the 500 at the time, so that's when I at the very start got to Grand Prix in 2001, and that was 2002 as a test rider with the 502 stroke, and Hervé is giving chance to so many riders, you know, lots of Brits,
lots of Brits,
Carl
Americans,
James Tosland.
Yep.
So yeah, JT was there, came there as well. Was it 2008 that JT came to Tech 3? So yeah, loads of chances. A great team, great atmosphere as well. And Hervé, you know, obviously a massive figure in the paddock, president of IRTA for many years, and you know, advocating for the private teams. This is why we've got all these private teams in MotoGP that are able to perform now. All of these work that was done there. So yeah, they're one of the pillars of current MotoGP. It's sad not to see him anymore.
It really will be, because he's somebody. I mean, he's helped me personally as well with anything I didn't know. I've always been able to go and say to Hervé, I don't understand this, can you help me out? And he has done. You know, he's just been so great. Everyone loves him. I mean, he's always such a one-off. He's inimitable, and yeah, he's going. Time to go. All good things must come to an end.
Yeah.
Long time in the paddock, and where they're based in the south of France, it's such a beautiful place. So he's going to love it, spending more time there.
Yeah, good luck to him watching his sun rising and setting on the beach, which is what he said in the lovely interview we had with him last weekend in Portugal. The champion of the rest of the world riders, I called him, because that's exactly what he did. He gave everybody a chance, didn't he? That if you weren't Spanish or Italian, you know, Hervé would have a chat with you and give you a go. Actually, it's going to be quite emotional, I think.
For him as well.
Yeah.
I think he's lived and breathed this sport in this paddock for 4 decades now. And to walk away and to witness someone else taking the reins of his passion project, it has been his baby. Yeah, it'll be an emotional day for him indeed.
As well, when you're a team manager, as you know, Michael, it's and you do all them races, and it's like you spend your life in the paddock. Your life is more in the paddock than
anywhere else.
That's
your family, isn't it? Your family's in the paddock, and he's a team owner, and he obviously was the president, as you say, for 12 years. President of IRTA as well, so involved in all aspects of this championship and racing and making it safe and all of the things that come with it. Like, he's literally changing his entire life after today.
Yeah, it's going to be a big shock, I think. That, but it feels, when you speak with Hervé or you see him, in the paddock, it feels like he's ready. It feels like it's the right time for him to. It doesn't feel like a decision that he's rushed or pushed. No. I think he's been thinking about it for quite a while.
Even the fact that he stopped attending all the races over the last couple of seasons, he'd skip a couple, which never would have happened in the past. The timing comes for everyone, and for Hervé, it just seems right. I think, as you mentioned, Sylvain, you never switch off from it when you're in a position like Hervé is, because he had so many strings to his bow across Moto3 and MotoGP in recent years, Moto E before that. Having the presidency at IRTA, he had his finger on the pulse. So much going on that he just would have never been able to switch off. So yeah, the time has come for Hervé to watch the sunrise and set, read his books, do things he's not had time to do over
ride his bike.
Ride his bike,
all the things he likes doing. He's just going to go back to being a 12-year-old. Yeah, big weekend. All the silver foxes are going. Gudotti's not here anymore. Hervé's going.
He's been back a bit, Guidotti. We've seen him, Francesco Guidotti. We've seen him in the paddock a few times. So you never know. He might be back in a different role.
Well, it'd be great to have him back in the paddock because he's such a talent. So to not have him looking after a team seems wrong as well, doesn't it? Really. Let's hope that he does come back. Danny Pedrosa doing great things for KTM, very close to the riders. We saw shots of Pol Espargaro as well earlier. What a flipping super sub Pol is. I mean, he has been incredible when he's raced that bike.
Unbelievable for a sub. Was he test rider for KTM and the pundit as well. So yeah, Espargaro can do it all, and he was very good when he did those replacements. And we're watching Acosta now. I'm really hoping Acosta can clinch his first win this weekend.
Oh, how good would that be? Yeah.
It would feel right. We've had 6 different winners in the 6 different Grand Prix, the last 6 Grand Prix, and it'd be nice to get a 7th with Acosta. He's seen his compatriots Aldeguer, he's seen Raul Fernandez, both of them getting their first win in Indonesia and the Phillip Islands. And yeah, Acosta's been so strong end of season. It's weird. I was looking at the championship yesterday, and he's only 3 points behind Pecco Bagnaia for 4th place. So yeah, he's done a really strong second half of season with the KTM. Since Bruno, really, the KTMs have all stepped up, and especially Acosta, Pedro Acosta, gave us a super sprint as well in Portimao, battling with Alex Marquez. He's not shy of a move up the inside, is he?
He's wide to pass as well, isn't he? You never say die, rider. Absolutely fantastic. Who'd have thought that Raul Fernandez would have won a race before Pedro Acosta? I mean, no disrespect at all, but I don't think anybody had that down, did they?
No, for sure, it should have been Pedro. And I agree with Silvan, looking at him there, 16 laps on those tyres, jumps up into the top 4, whereas Jack's just topped the leaderboard with a fresh set of boots in there. But I think Pedro this weekend, you watch him rear wheel steer on this part of the lap as he goes through turns 8 and 9. He's got such control, makes the KTM work, makes it finish the turns here. I've got a feeling that he could pull off those overtakes like he did in Portimao.
It's Pedro time, come on!
It should be Pedro time. It should be, and it feels there is a. I've got, you know, an inside.
Got a Pedro feeling.
Yeah, I got that feel inside that it's going to happen, and would love for it to happen. He so deserves it.
Pedro tingle.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's Jack Miller who's topping the timesheets on his softs. He could also do with a good result. He kind of shines and he's had a bit of bad luck. It's been a bit up and down, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, when you're on the same bike as Fabio Quartararo, it's hard to shine. Miller was impressive at the start of the season, actually.
Yeah.
He was really impressive straight away, and sort of like he was going head to head with Fabio, really. Even in qualifying in Buriram, he was quick straight away. You could tell that he sort of clicked with the Yamaha really early on.
Yeah, I think Jack brought a lot to the Yamaha project. Initially, straight off the bat, really helped Fabio extract a little more. I've just heard a crash in our headsets. As Joan Mir goes up into the top 5, is Aldeguer.
Fermin Aldeguer himself has been an absolute revelation. Really getting to grips with that bike. I mean, obviously not in this moment, but that win coming for a rookie in MotoGP, so rare, Michael, isn't it?
It is, and this is first turn 4 crash we've seen from MotoGP this weekend. A little bit of a cold right side of the tyre, but yeah, he's been exceptional as a rookie. I can't wait to see him next season. He doesn't want to lose his rookie status because he loves the way he can approach things at the moment. No pressure, just go out there and let it all hang out. But yeah, I think he'll want even better things next year.
It is year 2, isn't it, really? Because in year 1, you're not expected as a rookie to be able to achieve anything, really, other than to develop and try to get better as the season goes on. And I think he said in an interview, I want to stay as a rookie next year, which is clearly impossible. But you get the sense of what he's trying to say, and that you're forgiven and you're able to, you know, push a little bit more. You don't have to put a campaign together, whereas next year he will be expected to put a campaign together.
Yes, yeah, it's different expectations. Obviously, when you're a rookie, you've got so much to learn, and these bikes are very different to the Moto2 package. You've got, you know, the tires, the ride-out device. It's so much to take on board, and he's been absolutely brilliant, Aldeguer. Making again, Frankie Corchetti, you know, making it work with his rider. Making another Gresini rider a winner. They've got such a great team. Perfect setup actually for a rookie. And the experience of the Gresini team, the experience of Frankie Corchetti as well, helping him to shine as a rookie. But like you said, Suze, he's got to have to put something altogether. The second year, you expect it to, you know, to be more consistent. You expect him to make a little bit less mistakes, and it's not easy to keep it all together.
Aleix Espargaro not letting Paul steal all the headlines. Not lost any speed while he's been a test rider throughout this year, but up in second. That's impressive from Aleix at this point in the weekend.
Speciality 1 lap.
Yes.
Biting the screen, as Neil would say. Aprilia struggling a little bit today.
They have, though, and we've seen it in the past where on the Friday, you know, sometimes they are a little bit on the back foot, and then they recover over the weekend. So I wouldn't be too worried for now. But yeah, Aleix Espargaro, that's very impressive. Following the graphs, he looks like he's on used tires, but he's done that on used tyres. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
That really is, if that's the case, yeah.
I'm not sure that could be correct.
Do you think there might be a graphic error?
The
Perhaps.
tyre graph, I mean,
the first one.
this year it's been up and down, hasn't it? Sometimes it's not quite, yeah.
Graphics generally, I think we should maybe avoid that conversation.
We've stopped trusting them now these days.
Absolutely, especially in extreme circumstances. As Jack Miller leads the way here, Jorge Martin still on track, which is good to see. Just getting used to the bike again. Nicola Boulaguer, of course, here again this weekend, standing in for Marc Marquez, getting his second race weekend on MotoGP bike. I think everybody was reasonably impressed with what he could do last weekend.
He did well. He did really well in Portimao, and straight away as well, with very little track time, because he wanted a test before going to enter a race with the MotoGP bike, which is sensible. So he didn't do Malaysia because of that. The opportunity was there for him in Sepang, but he didn't take it. Chose to do a 2-day test in Perez instead before the Portimao weekend, but then that test turned out to be let's say disturbed by the weather. So yeah, it rained, and he didn't. I think he only did about 20 laps. So he did really good in Portimao. He was sort of within a second of the pace, even in the fast sessions like the Friday afternoon, and so he did. Yeah, I thought he did really well. Did a bit of a mistake when his sort of natural riding style came back. His instinct came back in the sprint race and crashed to the hairpin on the braking. That's the main difference, and that's why I said the main difference from World Superbike to MotoGP is the way that the front tire feels, the way you stop the bike, the way the braking technique as well. So obviously you got the carbon brakes in MotoGP as well, are a little bit different, but it's mainly the tire feel that you got to adapt to, and adapt your braking technique to it. Be interesting to see how Toprak is going to adapt as well, because obviously that is his superpower, the way he managed to stop that BMW in the braking zone. He's so strong. It's unbelievable actually the way he does it.
I think I'm more excited to see Toprak in 2027.
Yeah, I think the reality is that next year it's going to be very tough, and we're gonna see. We might be wrong, because he's definitely one of the super talents. Toprak Razgatlioglu is a very special rider. He's able to do, he's one of those that is able to produce things and produce lap times where you think you can't.
Yeah, he's got an innate talent to ride a motorcycle and ride around
100%.
issues, yeah. But obviously different tyres, as you mentioned there, next year.
Yep.
So a lot for him to take in. The Trackhouse Aprilia's doing it for Aprilia.
Yeah, good run of laps there. Ayagura, soft front, medium rear, both new tyres there, jumped him up the leaderboard. 2 solid laps to finish his session and be the lead Aprilia runner, but Raul Fernandez not too far behind, a 10th of a second back there in 4th. So yeah, Aprilia starting strong with their satellite squad here.
What have you made of that session? Can you make anything of it?
Well, we've got a few surprises. I like the Augusto Fernandez inside the top 10, 6/10 of a second adrift of the other Yamaha runner, Jack Miller, on the inline 4. But yeah, promising for them, good for Aleix Espargaro as the test rider. A bit of a, you'd say, upside down leaderboard really, with Miller, Agura, Aleix Espargaro, Raul Fernandez leading the way.
We're all panicking, there's a phone ringing somewhere, but it's not of ours.
That's because he feels like he's in the room.
I actually think it might be in London down in our can, so don't worry about it, no one can hear it. Where did Bagnaia finish in that session? What are we looking at this weekend, do we think?
Well, we're 21st, but
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of riders there that put a new set of boots, a new set of tyres for the end. So, I mean, if you read the session, the guys that look like they've got a good pace, Acosta in 8th, he's done loads and loads of laps on those tyres. You got Alex Marquez as well in 6th, he's done loads of laps. Joan Mir looked impressive as well.
Marini as well, 12th, yeah.
Yeah. On the top 4, for sure, I've put new tyres. I didn't see Morbidelli when he produced it at the end as well, lap 16 or 17.
He was going well anyway, Morbidelli, all the session.
Yeah,
you see Alex Marquez is in 6. He's only he's half a second off, but he produces lap time on lap 5 of 19. So he kept the same tyres.
It's funny seeing Alex back, because we haven't seen him that much this year, you know, in race trim.
No, he's worked hard though. He's done loads and loads of testing, obviously on that with the concessions. Loads more tyres for testing, and they can test on any track. They can, so they made the most of it.
They've done such a good job this year. I mean, they really have come good.
They have. I mean, last year there was a few races where they were just bottom all the time, and it just looked actually on the images, on the videos, whenever you saw the riders, they looked like they were just on eggshells. They looked like they had no feel at all. So yeah, they have transformed their package.
Difficult weekend for this man. I don't think we can overestimate how tough this is. You know, obviously finds himself at the bottom of the board, but just to get on the bike, get round, not crash, not have a problem, it's hard. But because he's got this number 1 on the bike, it's not reflecting obviously what he's able to do at the moment, and it feels like a bit of a dog having the number 1 plate. Not many riders run it, do they? Because it's deemed sometimes to be bad luck. I think he used to have to run it until. Am I right in thinking that Barry Sheen didn't want to run it, and they were trying to make him run the number 1 plate? He said, "Tell me where I have to run it. Where's the rule?" And he didn't run it. And then from then on in, you've still been able to run your own number.
I didn't realise that was Barry the first guy to do a career number.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising, would it? I'm sure I've run.
Yeah, that would definitely stack up, and then obviously
once he's number 7, and that's it.
Valentino Rossi, the first one to really make it famous, the proper career number, using your number as your logo. And then it has become the trend, whereas we're going to see, I would imagine, a return to 89 for Jorge Martin next year, but he previously was 88, and that number went to Miguel Oliveira, but because he's departing the championship, I wonder would Martin go back to his 88 from his early years, but maybe the 89 he won the world title with holds good memories and good sensations from that, so switch back to his career number perhaps.
Yeah, of course, you know, they've all got merchandise these days now, haven't they, with their numbers on, so that's why another reason why I often opt to not run the number 1 plate if they have become world champion.
If you're a world champion, you make new merchandise with the number 1, and then you sell the new, sell the new stuff.
Sell the number 1 and the number 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prestige of running the number 1 plate for Jorge Martin and for Aprilia, I think it was a worthwhile exercise. But then when you have a season like Jorge's had, you start to think, was it the right decision?
Is it bad luck?
Is it a curse? Is it a curse, exactly.
I mean, it's nice for the championship to have the number 1, the number 1 plate and bike on the grid. It means something, doesn't it? I personally like to see it.
But we've only seen it 7 times this year.
Yeah.
8 now. Yeah, difficult.
I think as well, you know, for people that are new to the sport, or you know, you look at you know who's got the number 1 plate. It matters.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it matters.
I don't know whether anybody looks at that anymore.
I think the kids do.
Do they?
Yeah.
The kids?
Yeah, the kids. They just watch it. They go, look at this one with the number 1. You know,
I want to be him.
The little ones. Yeah, the little ones look at the TV and think, oh, I like that, or I like the color of the bike, or I like the certain, you know, certain rider. That's where it starts.
Fermin, just having a look on his dirty leathers.
Yeah, I wonder if has he crashed twice? Or not got a second bike ready to go out for this practice start session? But
second part, probably.
Oh, Pecco Bagnaia, another spin up. They do happen more frequently for Pecco than most in these windows of test starts. That's a bad one there for Acosta. Proper top up from the front end.
Left part of the track is very dusty as well. We saw Joan Zarco lifting a lot of dust there.
He'll be happy with that session, won't he?
Well, that's top 10. Looks like he did use a tyre though, but 6th off. That is very good.
That's some progression, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
From the last time we saw.
Yeah, I believe Augusto was testing this week in Aragon as well.
Yes, he was there with Toprak. Yeah.
So certainly work going on at Yamaha. Developments being made. Progress, which is the important thing in terms of lap times and distance to the front. Very clear. Speed does seem a little better, 10 k's down or so here today, but in Sepang it was more like 15 towards 20, wasn't it? It was quite a way.
What are we expecting this weekend then, around this track? Around this go-kart track?
Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta strong again. And the Aprilias is difficult to tell because we've got the Trackhouse Aprilias have gone really well. I think the factory Aprilias have not used the new rubber, and we know they're making inroads during the weekend. So we don't want to discount Bezzecchi. He's in 18th this morning, but I think they're going to go forward.
Something happened there with Jorge Martin. You've seen Aldeguer's face. I think he's either gone to the right, ends up near the pit wall here. As it's touched down, yeah.
Oh, yeah, front wheel.
Oof.
Yeah, if you lift the front wheel like that early on, it just doesn't get any speed. And you put it down later, and as it tries to recover the speed, you get that front lock. That's why you saw that.
So it was all of us then.
Yeah. You can easily crash like that as well.
Do without moments like that, Jorge Martin, this weekend.
Yeah, that's better for Pedro Acosta.
Better to get it out of the way. The bad start now. You know, it's what these start sessions are for, really, to test out the track and
make sure you've got your launch system operating correctly with how much torque is going into that rear tyre. Can it accept it without spinning? Let's see, Vignale is back.
Back in the groove.
The shots on track, he looked comfortable again.
It's just good to have a full grid. Just with only 22 full-time grid positions, it's felt so depleted at times this year, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the last few ones with Marc Marquez missing, Maverick Viñales missing,
Jorge Martin
missing. So yeah, it's a lot of races for them. 44 races, 44 starts.
What's your feeling about that? How do you feel about the fact that you've got 2 races a weekend? I mean, is it obviously when you've got a situation where the injuries are coming and everything? Are there too many races? Does it add to the level of injuries that we see?
Well, we saw a massive increase in injury in 2023 when the sprints was introduced. I mean, it was absolutely huge. We spent the whole year without. We didn't have at one time. Yeah, we didn't have the full grid. There was loads of injuries. And obviously, starts are let's say what you call a danger zone where crashes can happen more. There was a lot as well before they changed the rule with the access to Q2. The first session of the Friday was as well sort of like when there was loads of crashes at the end of the session because they were pushing on early, at the end of that first session, and maybe not quite dialed in, and so that was modified, and then now it's only the afternoon session that counts for going into Q2, and that improved things. But yeah, 2023, the injury rate and the races missed because of injuries went like up so much. But then it settled last year.
Yeah,
2024 was a massive difference. But the injuries again missed this year are picked up a lot, and we're back to 2023 level or not far off. So yeah, for these guys, it's a very busy calendar and loads of opportunities to get injuries.
Coming off a brilliant sprint though, aren't we, in Portugal? It was probably the best race actually of the year in terms of action and at the front action.
Delivering what they were designed for in the first place, and hopefully we'll see a bit more of that here in Valencia this weekend. As Sylvain said, both Alex Marquez and Pedro looking fiery last weekend, ready to do duel again here in Valencia.
Yeah, we're off and running here in Spain for our final